Toerisme wordt wereldwijd gezien als een van de grootste sectoren die kan bijdragen aan de economie van een land. Maar tegelijkertijd drukt het ook op de natuur en de samenleving. Nou, in Suriname horen we vaak dat toerisme de motor kan zijn voor duurzame ontwikkeling. Maar hoe staat deze sector er anno 2025 voor? Wat zijn de kansen? Wat zijn de uitdagingen? En hoe combineren we economische belangen met zorg voor onze natuur en ook nog onze cultuur? In deze aflevering van Onder de Loep praten we over de toerismesector in Suriname. En we bekijken hem vanuit meerdere invalshoeken. Goedenavond, welkom bij Onder de Loep, het programma waarin we actualiteiten in breder perspectief plaatsen en vanuit verschillende invalshoeken bekijken. Nou, in deze aflevering praten we over de toerismesector in Suriname. En blijft u kijken, want na de break stel ik mijn gast aan u voor. Welkom terug. Nou, bij mij aan tafel Egon van Voidel, chairman, voorzitter van de Suriname Hospitality and Tourism Association, SHATA, welkom. En we hebben ook mevrouw Nazara Kranenburg, waarnemend directeur van Suriname Hospitality and Tourism Training Center. Welkom.
Goedenavond, dankjewel. Ja.
We gaan dit interview merendeels in het Engels doen, omdat meneer Egon van Voidel Engels sprekend is. Maar we willen u natuurlijk, we willen hem natuurlijk ook alles laten begrijpen en ook nog die informatie zo goed mogelijk voor u brengen. En indien nodig zullen we het een en ander dan voor u translaten. Maar goed, welkom Mr. van Voidel. Everything is okay?
Evening, pleasure.
Yeah, welcome. Now, if we look at the situation right now, tourism in Suriname, if we make a scan, what's the position of tourism in this country?
But I think tourism is still in a very virgin stage in Suriname. It has focused on a single market, but it's a Dutch market for too long. Mm-hmm. So from Shata's point of view, we look at Suriname with incredible potential.
Yes.
And we look at it from a global point of view. And our mandate and goal is to put Suriname on the global map as a very distinctive tourism destination.
All right.
Because unique.
Yeah. Ms. Kranenburg, do you share?
I also share his vision, but I can say with the opening of the new airport, AEG, I do think that our tourism will be not mediocre, but it will go to great lengths.
All right.
Yeah.
Goed, nou, voor we verder gaan, hebben we even deze instart voor u.
...2406 bedrijven opereren in de toerismesector. Echter is het aantal bedrijven dat zich heeft geregistreerd bij de Kamer van Koophandel en Fabrieken, KKF. Het aantal bedrijven in de sector ligt dan ook veel hoger volgens Sylvia Ang, voorzitter van Suriname Hospitality and Tourism Association, SHATA. Ang, die gisteravond sprak tijdens de nieuwjaarsborrel van de organisatie, hoopt dat de nog in te stellen toerismeautoriteit zal zorgen voor meer ordening in de sector.
Ze zijn natuurlijk allemaal bang van belasting betalen en dat soort dingen, maar het is wel belangrijk voor ons, voor de ordening en ook om standaarden in te voeren. Ik bedoel, als mensen klagen van mensen komen niet naar mij, niet naar mijn restaurant, waarom? Omdat ze niet conform de standaard werken. Maar het is heel erg moeilijk hier in Suriname om te ordenen.
Hoewel de toerismesector veel succes heeft weten te boeken in 2023 en Suriname als toerismedestinatie goed is uitgedragen op verschillende internationale beurzen, zijn er volgens Ang nog altijd uitdagingen. Eén daarvan is gekwalificeerd personeel.
Zelfs niet gekwalificeerd is ook heel erg moeizaam. Ja, dus echt personeel is gewoon hoofdpijn, laten we zo zeggen. Micromanagement, wat ik bedoel, we hebben een aantal bedrijven, zeg maar, je hebt een micro, maar ook kleine bedrijven. De eigenaar is van zijn kok, van zijn bootsman, van zijn kit. Je bent met zoveel dingen bezig dat je gewoon niet aan beleid toe bent. Dus dat hebben we heel veel in Suriname. Toegang tot financiën, dat is altijd een klacht al een tientallen jaren. Investeringsklimaat is niet transparant, helemaal niet stimuleren. Mensen die dan zeggen van ik ga nu de groene kant op. Wat doet de overheid? Die laat je gewoon invoerrechten betalen op zonnepanelen. Dus helemaal geen enkele stimulans.
Ang presenteerde ook de bedreigingen zoals afvaloverlast en kansen zoals lokale en internationale partnerschappen voor de toerismesector. Als zwaktes zijn gefragmenteerde data en gebrekkige infrastructuur benoemd, terwijl de kracht van de sector onder andere ligt in het gebouwd erfgoed op de UNESCO-lijst en de biodiversiteit.
En dat heeft u gezien, the challenges of 2024. Yeah, we're going to talk about those. The challenges, qualified personnel. Om met u te beginnen, you are training and
Yes. It is indeed one of the challenges, qualified personnel. But at the moment, SHTTC focuses on training all of the students there so they can be ready for the sector. And not only hospitality, but also tourism sector. Every year we have a certain amount of students that we accompany or we take so they can do their training. But this year we decided that we're going to train more students. Because it's also we also need to consider the oil and gas. We need to be ready.
And what role will tourism play with oil and gas?
What role tourism will play is that tourism it's not only tourism, but it's also hospitality.
Okay.
If we train students that can work on the rig, then it's a win-win situation for Suriname.
Yeah.
So we deliver the qualified personnel.
Okay. Mr. Egan?
Yeah.
The challenges, in your opinion, what are the biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge is labor.
Labor.
Absolutely. Because when you think, we have now 4 new hotel projects that we are working on. By 28, 29, I need around 1,600 staff. Where do I find 1,600 staff? This is why we work together for a long time now in saying how do we actually go and motivate local people, young people, if they're in the age of 14 to 18, to see hospitality and tourism as an alternative, as a career, right?
Exactly.
And so, like I just mentioned, next month I give a speech to 200 youth in the age of 14 to 18 to talk about hospitality and tourism. Yeah. So yes, we have to motivate the local community. Otherwise, we are forced to go and bring labor in from outside. Yeah. And we try to avoid this as much as we can. Yes. Because when you look at it already, the influx of particularly, say, Cubans and Venezuelans is already penetrating the hospitality market. And we want to give the jobs to the local community and not to foreigners and bring foreigners in.
Ms. Kranenburg, are locals interested in going into hospitality?
They are. But what we see now, we see a shift. Locals don't want to do the full programs of 4 years anymore. So that is or 3 years, that is something we see. It's a shift in the market. So what we have our culinary programs. They consist of 15 months. And then the students do the program 50 months, not 3 years. And then they can start working. And we also have the very short trainings. They last about 5 weeks. And then we also qualify these people to start working in the hospitality and also tourism sector.
Okay. You can really build a career?
Yes, you can. Yes, because all of our programs are certified. We established our programs with ROC Amsterdam, so we are fully certified.
Okay. Aren't you afraid that after the whole course, the students might think, we're going abroad?
That is also happening. It's a bit of a brain drain that we have, and that is why he said labor is one of the biggest challenges. But it's for us. It's also important to do the tourism awareness. As an organization, we don't only train, but we also make the students aware of what the capacity of what the impact of tourism in Suriname will have on this country, this beautiful country of ours. So that is also important. Tourism awareness not only for the participants but also for the students.
Okay. Mr. Egan, what is how important is the role of the government working together with the different companies who are adding to tourism? In the video, we heard that back in 2024, 2,406 companies were registered. How important is it for the government to work together with them, with NGOs, or?
I think it's very, very important. You know, I mean, over the last 24 as an example, I had multiple meetings with the Minister of Labor, I had multiple meetings with the Minister of Education, logically with BBs, with DCT. So we are very actively involved in that role to make it clear what is required from the government too, because the private sector can only do so much, right? We drive the economy to a very large extent. Government has to go and provide us with the resources that we can achieve what we set out to achieve.
Okay, if we look at the region, the other Caribbean countries, and we look at Suriname, can we make a comparison or not at all?
Not really. I think you can compare it with Guyana a bit. And, you know, we just returned from Guyana where we had extensive meetings with the Tourism Authority and with the equivalents of charter in Guyana. And we traveled around and we looked at resorts and we met people. So I think there is some similarity. But I think Suriname is very, very unique because it's so multi-ethnic.
Yes.
It has so much to give that we don't see, I think. I think when you live in this country, you might take it for advantage, where for me, coming from the outside in, I said, wow. And I think tourists would do the same.
Okay. We spoke a bit about the oil and gas. When it all happens, all the money will flow in, people think. But does it also mean that we'll have more tourists coming in, flying in, the laborers?
Yeah, I think that there will be a ripple effect. If you get expats, they will also let their family come in. So we will get more tourists. But the focus is not really on, right now, if we talk about oil and gas, on the tourists, it's on delivering qualified personnel to the people to work in the oil and gas sector, because that will have a spin-off on Suriname. Yeah, tourism is very important. I share that. But we really need to look at the personnel that we deliver so we are ready. Because we can say, okay, let the tourists come, but are we ready? We're not ready yet.
Yeah. And if we look at infrastructure?
Major issues.
Yeah.
You know, the airport is a major issue. Airlift is one of the biggest things. When you look at it from the development point of view, labor is here, but lift is here. If we cannot go and get people in a reasonable time into the country, it doesn't matter what promotion or what trade shows or whatever we do. Airlift is important. We need direct flights into the country. We need multiple airlines to come into the country. Otherwise, tourism will not flourish.
Okay. Are you content with the way the government goes about tourism?
You ask me now a very political question, and I will be very straightforward.
Yes.
I do believe that this present government, under the leadership, takes tourism very seriously. What I hear and the meetings that I attended, I'm very, very, very positive that finally Suriname is on the right track. And I think with the support of the government and the various ministries, if we work together with one mandate to make this even a better place than it is, then we will achieve.
Okay. Ms. Kranenberg, how many students graduate yearly?
If we talk about last year, I had about, I think, 35 students that graduated, but that was the culinary and the tourism stream. But if I may, you asked Mr.
Yes,
Egon
of
a
course,
question. And I must say, I also share his vision on that. They're working very hard now on tourism. But one of the most important things that needs to be done is the installment of our tourism authority. That is why I think we see stagnation in the tourism sector also.
Okay.
And
How would that benefit?
that would benefit because we have a legislation
Okay.
of the authority.
Yeah, yeah.
And that will legalize all the process and all the whole sector. Legalization of the whole sector, that is very important.
Okay. And right now it's taking too long to establish certain things.
Yes, yeah.
Bureaucratie zo'n beetje.
Yes.
Ja, alright. Goed, we gaan naar een break en straks praten we dan over toerisme en de natuur. Welcome terug. Mr. Egon, when we look at nature, a lot of tourists come to go into the interior,
Yes.
to look at our waterfalls, nature, the jungle.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that aspect of tourism.
I think this is what makes Suriname so unique. And when I have the opportunity to spend 3-4 hours on the river and going to, say, Tampati or Kinipati or even fly to Palime,
Yeah.
for a guy like me who lived all over the world, I am totally amazed. I love it so much. So I know that there is such an incredible opportunity for Suriname to offer it in a controlled way, because you have to control it. You cannot go and have a large hotel somewhere in the bush. It has to be controlled. It has to be, and I think when you mentioned from the authority point of view,
Exactly.
yes, there's all the crossovers that there are,
Okay.
but huge potential.
All right.
Yeah. Well, if it comes to that, I would say community-based tourism, because the people have to benefit from tourism. Also, if I may say, SHTTC is doing trainings now in Upper Suriname and also Kwamala Semutu. And we are doing this with the UNDP. We received a grant from the UNDP, and we went there the first time. We had a crew tour with all the people of the Upper Suriname, the villages of Upper Suriname. And you see that there's a demand. They need the training because we have different lodges there, but we need the people to benefit from it.
Yeah.
And if
the
the
villagers themselves.
We need the villagers to profit from that. And if they profit, then we know they can keep our nature safe also. It's 93% nature.
Yeah. Okay. One of the most important things are the people themselves.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about making them aware, training. How long does such a process take? Does it differ?
It differs. If we talk about tour guiding, for example, that has to be at least 25 hours. So let's say, for instance, 5 days, but 5 strict days. We are doing the tour guide training in Kwamala Semutu because there was a demand, and the Graman asked us to do that. So it differs, but it's a basis, it's a fundamental training. So you don't do the fully training, you do the fundamental training, and that's 20 to 25 hours. And then we have other trainings that will last 20 hours, others that will do 15 hours, but if it's 15 hours, we call it a workshop, not a training.
Okay.
Yeah, and we do different kind of trainings. We have customer service, we have front office, kitchen assistant, because kitchen assistant is also asked. We also have agroforestry. We are doing that training in cooperation with Tropabus Suriname. And the most important one is first aid.
Okay.
That is very important.
Yes, of course.
With Rode Kruis.
Yeah, all right. Mr. Egon, you already told me a bit about making or talking to a lot of young people.
Yes.
Are there more of these kind of projects to make the next generation or this generation aware of where they can earn a lot.
Yeah, we're speaking to multiple schools in that regard. So this is the first time we talk to 200 students. And there's another one with 150. So I'm going out there, and in principle, I tell them my life.
Yeah.
I came from a little country, but hey, when I was 35 years old, I was president of Ritz-Carlton, the best hotel company in the world.
Yeah.
So if I can, for where I came from, you can as well.
Yeah. All right.
Right, so if you don't go and show them the potential, then it's difficult for them to make a decision.
Yeah, if I may
Of
also,
course.
we work closely together, Egon and I, with the Shata, with Marriott, and we have our students that do the internship, the culinary students and the tourism and hotel management students, and at the end of the road when they do their internship, they always have a place at Marriott. So that is very important because the practical side of their training or their program is very important.
Starship in
Internship.
Do we have enough?
Yeah, we do. We do. So we don't only have Marriott, also Torarica. You can say the most of the hotels in Suriname. Yeah.
Okay. The accommodation.
What is beautiful in that regard, as an example, for the last week and this week, we have staff from Pepperpot at the Marriott that we train them at the Marriott. We had the staff from Chakana at the Marriott, we trained them there. We had all the employees from IDB at the Marriott, we trained them on customer service. So we act to a very large extent as the practical part of the college, right? The college teaches mostly theory. We teach them practice.
Yes.
Okay. So we're heading the right direction.
No question.
All right. What is the role of tourism now and our economy? Do we earn a lot?
You know
from
what?
the economy?
I cannot answer that because I don't know what the government really gets out of it. I would think that there should be substantial income, because we have an entry fee of $59. So I mean, this when you multiply it by around 250,000 people entering the country, there should be sufficient funds that would go to the government. I think with oil and gas and with the building of the new hotels that we are doing, a lot will come into the country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the most important things is to attract tourists. People need to come into the country. I don't know how many flights we have per week, but on that scale...
Not enough.
Not enough.
No.
What needs to happen?
We need direct flights, like I mentioned. We have to go. When you look, from my point of view, I look at the US as being a huge market that is totally untapped. We have never really looked at the US.
Why is that?
Well, maybe that was just a policy that nobody ever thought that the US is of interest because everybody always looked at Holland.
Yes,
I said we're going to go to one trade show in Holland, we're not going to go to 4. We're going to go to the World Travel Mart in London. We're going to go to IDB in Berlin. We're going to go to the big trade shows, global trade shows. We're not going to focus on Holland. Holland has been used and marketed forever. What about Germany? What about Italy? I mean, there is so much interest.
If they know about Suriname, they'll be coming.
Yeah, but we have a lot to offer, so let's go and do it.
Yes, I share that also, that vision also, because we need to do something about the marketing and promotion of destination Suriname. That is lacking. It's very much lacking, and I'm glad that Egon mentioned it, that we're going to promote Suriname outside. I must say the Ministry of TCT did that already a few years ago. They went to certain fairs, but I don't think it's on the scale that we need to that we really promote Suriname. I think we also need to work with companies outside so they can attract tourists, so the tourists can come to Suriname. Holland, the Netherlands is only for diaspora, and we need to accept that. It's just diaspora. We will always be tied to the Netherlands, but we need to go abroad. If we want to develop our tourism in Suriname, we need to think outside the box. And that is what we need to do.
And we're doing that.
Yes,
right?
and we're doing that.
I mean, we're doing that already. Like I mentioned to you, the meetings that I had in Guyana, the relationship, the MOU that we signed in Guyana. We are now already working with Guyana in co-marketing and co-promotion. We're doing the same with French Guyana. So when we go to the trade shows, like the World Travel Mart, we're going to go and not be a small little booth where it says Suriname. It's going to be this. And we're going to have live cooking there. We're going to have music there. We have to show the people what Suriname is all about and not just hand out brochures that go in the garbage on the way out, right? So it's a total different attitude towards marketing than that occurred so far.
So let's say someone in Germany wants to come to Suriname. He saw something on the internet. He doesn't have a clue.
Yes.
Is there a path, or is there something that guides him to come to Suriname and book his hotel, go on trips, and have a safe flight back?
But most of them would make contact with Charter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Charter takes control, as we have done multiple times now, and we do it with influencer. We have one influencer in the country now. He is Italian. He has a multi-million-dollar audience, and we have him since today at Palermo, and he's for 4 days in Palermo, and then he flies back on the 5th.
Okay. What advice would you give to the government to improve tourism? What is the first thing right now? I mean, you have had talks with them, but what would you advise them to do first, right now?
And I'm going to be very blunt with you. What we need is money.
Funds.
Right? We have the knowledge, we have the experience, we have the context, we have it all. But we need funds, because for membership alone, we cannot go and promote the country. So when you look at this $59 as an example, my recommendation to the previous Ministry of Foreign Affairs was give us a percentage of that is dedicated towards marketing and promotion of tourism.
Yes, I also share that vision. Funds, and the second one will be the installment of the Tourism Authority.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. If we look at other sectors, what sectors profit directly from tourism?
But look at it. When you look at the members that we have now, Fernandez is a member, Kings is a member, the brewery is a member. Why? Because they all benefit from tourism. So when I approached the CEOs of these companies, they didn't say to me, why should I? They said, yes, I would love to be. So when I look at our membership that we have now, it encompasses anybody who is in any way, shape, or form involved with tourism. A bank, yes, is a member.
All right.
So we open it up very wide, and in principle we said anybody who makes a cent out of tourism, you're going to be a member.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I may also, if you look at the books, then you have the direct and the indirect effect of tourism. But here in Suriname, like Egon said, everyone benefits from it.
Sure.
Every company.
Alright. Okay. Goed, we nemen een break en zometeen ben ik bij u terug. We hebben aan tafel mevrouw Nazara Kranenburg, waarnemend directeur van de Suriname Hospitality en Tourism Training Center, en Egon van Voidel. Hij is voorzitter van de Suriname Hospitality and Tourism Association, SHATA. Nature is one of the biggest attractions, may I say?
I would think so to a large extent, yes.
Yes. Do most tourists go there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how must we preserve our nature to, keep it safe for ages?
But I think this is where the government comes in again, right? I mean, we have to go and be very strict and not being taken by maybe a huge investment. If it doesn't fit into the eco kind of philosophy of the country, then we might have to say no. I had one investor coming to me, he says, I want to build a 246-room hotel there. I said, my friend, not going to happen.
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
the attempt would be there that somebody brings millions of dollars in to build, but that is not who we are. You know,
Okay.
we don't want to have this big building in,
Yeah.
in
In the interior.
nature. No,
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
no.
Yeah.
No, exactly, because legislation will have to push that sustainability is taken into account.
Yes.
You can go to, let's say, for instance, Kininipati or Gunsi or Guyaba and build a hotel there, and the people, the villagers, do not profit from it. It has to be sustainable. That is one of the key words in tourism,
And
sustainability.
spoils the whole look of the village.
But I
Yes.
think this is where you're so right. When you do something inland, that village, these people have to benefit. They should be the biggest beneficiary of it. This is where training comes in. Yes, the growing of vegetable comes in, and that you incorporate them into the business.
Exactly, exactly.
And the cultural aspect of these villages, how do we preserve it? Because a lot of tourists also come to see how people live in the interior, in villages.
Then it goes back
Yeah.
to what I said. The people need to benefit from it. If you say you want to build a lodge there or a resort there, then a percentage has to go to the villagers so they can preserve their culture because people come for their culture. If we look at the Upper Suriname, Pikinsley, for instance, you have the museum there,
Yes.
right? And that needs to be maintained. And if we can come up with some kind of fee, for instance, a tourist fee, when the villagers, when the people, the tourists go to there, they also pay a tourist fee to these people. They can also benefit from it.
Okay. Yeah, and also selling
Products.
Yeah. good
Selling their products. But
products,
that
yeah.
is already happening, but not at the scale that it should be happening. These people are very innovative and creative. I have seen what they can do. And I think that is where our strength as a country lies. It's not only Paramaribo or Wanica, but we have no clue that one of the biggest strengths lies in Sipaliwini.
Okay. Can you explain more about their creativity?
The creativity, what they create, or the different products, if we're talking about Maripa Oli, if we're talking about
Okay.
what they create with for instance, oils, simple oils,
Yes.
and nuts, the Brazilian nuts.
Brazilian nuts,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Also,
that is
yeah.
also one of them.
All right. And
And with wood.
Okay. Have you also looked at medicine?
Yeah. So if we talk about medicine, then we can go back to Kwamala Semutu.
Yeah.
And I think one of the NGOs that is doing that is ACT. And they are currently, I think, investigating what kind of medicine these people are using and if it's really that effective.
Okay.
Because we use medicine here that is drug related, but these people do not use that. They go to nature, and nature is their medicine.
Yeah.
And that is why I will abide by that is where our strength lies.
Mr. Egan, is there a limit on when it comes to certain places, how many tourists they can accommodate?
In which way? What do you mean?
When it comes to the amount of tourists who go to, for example, Kninipati, is there a need for expansion or to accommodate more tourists?
You know, there's interest expressed by various investors, and we speak to the Anaulas and we speak to the Kinipatis and the Kinipatis. Are you interested in adding on and
More.
expanding? I think everybody is quite comfortable in what they have.
Okay.
And I think to bring foreign investors in is not really of interest to them. I think if they want to expand, like when you look at Frederikstorp as an example, right? I mean, Cyrano started relatively small and then he added on.
Yeah.
And as the demand grows, they might add on a couple of more lodges and so on. So and I think this is what you will see with the Anaulas and the Kinipatis and Kinipatis
Okay.
and so on.
All right. And when it comes to pollution, have you received complaints from villagers that it's becoming a problem, or is it handled well?
I have not received any comments in that regard.
Yeah, if I may say, we went to Pokigrong and also to the other villages, but we have not received complaints because they are very strict in the villages.
Yeah.
It's not like in Paramaribo where there's where we can talk about pollution and Wanika. No, they are very strict there. We do see if it comes to Achoni, there's a bit of pollution there, but we have not received any complaints about that.
Okay, so they're doing
For
a good
Upper
job. So
Suriname.
they're quite aware of
Yes, they
dealing
are.
with pollution.
Yes, they are.
All right. When it comes to infrastructure, reaching those places, is it very challenging?
Yes and no. I think the challenge is more in town than it is actually in the villages.
Okay.
I think the villages are very self-sufficient, like you said, I think that the captain they have quite a control, and I visit a lot of the villages.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm always taken how organized they actually are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if we look at that, so it won't be, it's not a problem with the infrastructure, it's the prices.
To reach the
To
villages.
reach the villages, that is a problem. Like I said, we're doing trainings in Upper Suriname, and we have, for instance, 20 people of all different kind of villages that we need to bring, for example, to Yo-Yo. So what we do, we hire 2 people
Yeah.
that bring them to Yo-Yo, and it is very, very expensive.
So how can we get the costs down?
I think we need to look at, the government.
Airstrips?
No, that will also be very expensive. We need to look at the government to subsidize the infrastructure.
Make roads and better boats or something like that.
I think better boats, not roads, better
Okay.
boats. Yeah.
All right. Challenging,
Yes, it is. It is. It's a very big challenge, but I think we can do it.
because I've heard of some people, they want to go certain places, but they said, I can't sit in a boat for an hour or 2.
You see, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I sit in the boat for
Yeah.
4.5 hours and I love it because I see the traffic. I see people bathing and washing their clothes. I see what Suriname is all about. I mean, I love it.
I think it differs. If you're somebody that loves adventure, you will not have a problem like Egon and myself. But if you go there and expect something else, then you won't be happy to sit.
Because if I sit in a boat, after 45 minutes, I throw up.
Come on.
Yeah. Or maybe I need to sit often to get used to.
So you get seasick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But, and that it is a condition that you have. But if people say it's not comfortable,
Yeah.
yeah, but you said comfortable? No, it's not comfortable, but you look around. I mean,
Yeah. You enjoy
to
it.
me, I just love it. I love to be
Yes, true.
on the river.
You've been in a lot of countries. You named Guyana. What makes Suriname so unique?
The people.
The people. Yeah, you said it right. Okay. The different ethnic groups.
When I came to this country, I thought I might be here for 2 years, and we fix the hotel and we do what needs to be done. I'm here 12 years. And when people say to me, how come you're here for 12 years? You normally only go to a place for 2 years or so. It's because I fell in love with the people.
Yeah. And what from the people?
But it's just, the people are just kind, the people are beautiful, the people are simple but happy to a very large extent. There's just something there that, that affected me very deep in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Suriname is like my home. And I never thought ever that
I
I'm
also
going to be
share
here
that.
for 12
Yeah.
years, never.
Yeah, I also share that because, just to be very blunt, if we look at Guyana, French Guyana, they also have a lot of nature. Brazil also, they are part of the Amazon. So 93% nature. I love my country. But it's the people that makes the difference. If you look, for instance, we are one of the only countries in South America that have Japanese people.
Yeah.
Has anyone thought about that? No.
Yeah.
Also in the Caribbean.
Yeah. That's unique.
That is very unique.
So you're here to stay?
I tell you in a couple of years.
Okay. You mentioned marketing Suriname in the US.
Yes.
What has been done already to...
Nothing.
Really?
No.
If
You
I
don't agree?
can, not me, no, because we also work with the Ministry of TCT, and 3 years ago, they went to New York and they also went to Dallas, and Suriname was promoted during a roadshow.
A roadshow.
Yeah, a roadshow. So that has been done, but I don't think it had an effect,
yeah.
an impact or effect on tourism.
Okay.
I think we need to do it better, right, Egon?
I think you have to do it much better.
Much better. Yeah.
And the best way to do it is actually that you bring people into the country and not, there's a philosophy, let's go to a trade show and trade show and trade show. I believe that we should go and be very selective on tour operators, say in the US. And then we invite them as a fam and we bring them here, or we house them, we show them the country,
Yeah.
let them experience the food, the music, and then they promote you. And that's the way, from Shata's point of view, that's the direction we are going.
And then we look at the other challenges of the flights.
It always comes back down to that, that's for sure. This is, like I said, lift is one of the biggest issues that we have.
And if you look at our airport,
The airport is
does it
not
need
adequate
expansion
at
too?
all.
Or?
Oh, absolutely. You cannot go and have one screening machine for 750 people departing on Friday when 3 airlines depart, and it takes you 2.5 hours to go and get your carry-on luggage to a screen. But that's totally unacceptable.
Yeah. So have you spoken to the government about that also?
Yes, and the airport. And every time, if something like that happens, immediately I get a WhatsApp. And then I send a note to the airport. I send a note to the person that sits on the board who looks after aviation. I said, it's your job to go and look into it and report back. But these are the challenges where when you say government, yes, this is taking money. And so, yes, the government has to look at it and say, what kind of capital investments do we have to do to improve the airport, to bring it to a acceptable level?
Yeah. Yeah.
So would you recommend building a total new airport in a different location?
I have been presented with 2 projects of a new international airport in Suriname, and hopefully the people who presented that, if they can go and get the financing, and if the government agrees to do that, I think that would be a very good opportunity.
Was that recently?
Yes, it was a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we may be looking forward to a total new airport, international standards.
I looked at the plans and so on, and it's all planned and it's costed out. And so I'm sure there's dialogue between these people and the government already.
Have you recommended it to the president?
I have not recommended to the president.
Okay.
No.
All right. Maybe very soon. But it's necessary.
It is necessary
I think
because
it's very necessary.
because we're not ready for mass tourism. We're not ready for that.
A controlled mass tourism, right?
Yes.
Because mass tourism can be negative, right? You have to control it.
Yeah.
You don't want to go and be overrun like so
Oh,
many
no,
European
no,
countries, right?
no.
So we have to be very specific. Who are the geographics and the demographics that we want in the country? And then we do our marketing and everything towards that particular segment of it.
Yeah. You mentioned only now you're getting data of tourists flying in.
Yeah.
Were you shocked when you saw the data that
No, I
there are
wasn't.
not that many?
I wasn't shocked. I mean, we ask all the time for data. And then when we looked into it and saying, what data can we receive? Accurate data, detailed data, we can get in 25. And because we're working very close with the military police and immigration, we can go and get now relatively specific data, where they're coming from, are they tourists, are they business people, and so on. So we have quite a good feeling now, and so I think by the end of the year, we will have the first time very, very good data that we can base our decisions on.
Okay. Ms. Kranenburg, you get a lot of students, a lot of young people who are interested in getting into tourism and hospitality. Are there things that are being overlooked by other people who look at it from the outside? For example, like getting into tourism and hospitality.
Yes, what we see with our students is that they just apply. Okay, I don't want to go to HAFO. I don't want to go to FEWIO. I'm going to go to SHTTC.
So they see it as an option. Or
There's an
less,
option.
yeah.
It's an option because
Not
it's
a-
vocational level.
Okay.
It's vocational level. But what you then get is they do the tourism program, but they after maybe a year they see they want to do hotel management.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So what I want to advise the students is also do your work, do your homework before you apply. One of the things we did to assure that students or people who are interested to do our programs abide by what they really want is that we have an intake. We have an intake procedure that they need to do where they need to write several papers. We talk to them, we ask them why they want to apply, and that is how we know for sure that they want to do the program.
All right.
Yeah, because it's very important because at the end of the day, when they graduate, we need to deliver them to the sector and they really need to be qualified.
Mr. Egon, can
Yeah.
tourism also have negative effects for a country?
But I think, like I mentioned, it could be if you over tourism a country, then it affects the culture. And I think it has to be very controlled.
Yeah.
Okay. So pollution is also one of them.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
But right now we're handling it in a good way.
In a good way, yeah.
All right. And we're going to towards the end.
Yeah.
What would you advise the government, for example, if they're looking right now?
I think the only thing I can say is let's work together as close as possible with one vision to take the country where the country should be or could be.
Okay. Yeah, because you have the government, you have the businesses, you have the local people, the gramangs,
The airport charter is private enterprise, right? So
Yeah.
when you look at the whole thing, in principle, we represent the private sector.
Yes.
So you have the public sector, you have the
Yeah.
private sector, and if both sectors work together, taking egos away and having one goal, and it's putting this country on the map, then we will achieve it.
Oké. Mevrouw Kranenburg, mensen inschrijven, waar, wanneer, hoe gaat dat?
Momenteel kunnen mensen zich registreren. De link staat op de website van SHTTC. De registratie is tot volgende week vrijdag. Tot en met, het is 12 september. En daarna sluiten we dus de registratie. En dan hebben we dus momenteel de intakes. De studenten voor de toerisme en hotelmanagement opleidingen, die registreren zich nu. En culinair die staat open tot 1 september.
Welke vooropleidingen moeten de studenten hebben?
16 jaar en ouder en een MULO-opleiding en 2 jaar werkervaring.
Oké.
Ja.
Geen limiet, leeftijdslimiet.
Nee, geen leeftijdslimiet.
Oké.
Ik heb bijvoorbeeld bij mijn culinaire opleidingen mensen van 55 jaar. Ja, dus het is niet verbonden aan een limiet. Je moet wel 16 jaar en ouder zijn.
Oké.
Ja.
Goed, en waar ligt toch de meeste interesse?
Culinair. Keukenassistent, koks.
Ja.
Koks 1, koks 2 en koks 3.
Oké. En er zijn genoeg docenten om de opleiding.
Ja, we werken momenteel met docenten die parttime werken. Omdat onze docenten worden aangeleverd door het ministerie van Onderwijs. Want wij resorteren ook onder het ministerie van Onderwijs, TCT en Arbeid.
Oké, en
Ja.
als u klaar bent of als de student, hoe lang? 15 maanden duurt de opleiding?
Ja, dus de culinaire opleidingen, die les, I think we should switch to English.
Yes.
Yeah. So the culinary programs, they consist of 15 months. But if we talk about tourism and hotel, that is 3 years. And when they are done, they can go in the tourism and hospitality sector.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And if you graduate from the kitchen chef assistant, then yeah, you can work in one of the restaurants.
All right.
Yeah. At the moment, Le Hermitage is accommodating 15 of our chef level 3 students.
Okay.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you have a career opportunity if you get into the course.
Yeah, yes, yes, you do. But we're talking about internship.
Yes.
So the 15 students do their internship at Le Hermitage.
All right. Do students also go abroad for internship?
They do, they do. I have 2 students. One is going to the Netherlands, and one is going to Curacao.
All right.
Yeah, but of course, it's a lot of money. So I don't have a lot of students that go abroad, but mostly they go to the restaurants and they go to Marriott or Torarica to do their internship.
All right. Interesting. Thank you, Mr. Egon van Voidel.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It was very interesting
Thank you very
hearing from
much.
you. En Ms. Kranenburg en Sarah Kranenburg, mag ik
Thank
jullie
you.
dank zeggen.
Yes, thank you very much.
Goed, dit was het voor deze aflevering van Onder de Loep, waar we dus hebben gehad over onder andere toerisme in Suriname. Ik dank u voor uw aandacht en voor een andere aflevering. Tot de volgende keer.